Welcome back to Careful Boys, and with our special guest today, Gilbert Jr.
Yeah, Gilbert Jr.
Is that pretty accurate?
Making it cool again.
It's not bad.
Yes.
It's not good either. That being said, we have a couple prompts, and one of the ones that Bart suggested this morning.
What? Don't put it on me.
Yeah, let's put on Bart.
You definitely, I have text message proof of this one. You said you wanted to know from all of us that moment where we all knew. How did you know when you weren't gay?
That's true.
You guys know?
That's right. You guys all
How
know?
did you know
Like, how did you know?
That's true.
that you don't like boys?
Do you guys have confirmation? You guys have proof? Proof of it?
I don't think I do.
Evidence?
Now that you asked this prompt, I'm like, I don't know if I do.
See?
I never really questioned it. Maybe I just false society met with a woman and loved her, but I don't know if I actually love her.
I call that laziness. You didn't find
That's kind
out.
of fucked up.
You didn't find out?
You're gonna get married too. That's happening very soon, isn't it?
I remember when I first realized I had a crush. I was in kindergarten and I met this girl and I was like, ooh, I like this girl. I like looking at her. I got like fuzzy feelings when I looked at her.
Yeah.
So I just fucking stare at her all day.
Dude, we're all creepy as fuck in kindergarten, huh?
Your
default setting
I
as a
remember-
man is to be a creep.
I don't think it's creepy when you're like a little kid, though.
Because you're discovering shit, right? You don't know.
Because I remember, I really liked this girl. We were in different classes in kindergarten, but we would share a recess together, and I really wanted to like talk to her. And then every time I saw her, I was so excited. And then one time I saw her and this boy cuddling, and he was like squeezing her boobs and her head and her face, and I was just hella jealous.
Did you fight him?
Wait, squeezing her boobs?
Yeah, they were just cuddling and
In
shit.
kindergarten?
Yeah, we're just in the playground, and he was like squeezing her boobs, her shoulder, her face, everything.
She's fucking
Yeah.
stacked, huh?
He's like, head, shoulder, knees and boobs, knees and boobs.
No, like he was wrapped around and then like squeezing her like that. And then I was just like, man, that's my girlfriend, dude. And I walked away.
And I walked away.
Dude, you were the bigger man in that situation.
Yeah, well, at the same time, it was only a one-way relationship because I was like, yeah, she's my girlfriend in my head. I never talked
Is
to
that
her.
a thing? Like, kindergarten PDA? I don't think I even remember that. I was too afraid to even.
I just remember guys squeezing chicks' titties mostly.
in kindergarten?
Big kindergarten memory, dude.
Dude, that's a wild memory, man.
That was pretty common.
kindergarten?
That was pretty common, yeah.
I remember in first
It
grade.
was by the nuclear power plant.
I remember in first grade where I thought that you got chicks pregnant. I thought the order was you get chicks pregnant and then they're yours. And so in order to get them pregnant, you do that through making out. So when everyone would leave, when people would leave from the lunch table to go play, I would go to everyone's high C's and just lick it.
Damn, fool, what if you got all of them pregnant?
That's what I was hoping to do.
They all got mono though.
I was hoping that I was gonna get all these chicks pregnant and they would all be mine. But it didn't.
Everyone's like, it's all tastes like black vinegar.
Tastes like soy sauce.
That is why my kid's not going to public school, just because of that story alone.
That was our
That's so crazy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It was because I already.
That's how they develop immunity, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Did you guys ever have like a best fucking friend though, where like you wanted to do everything together, like going pee together, hang out together, whatever, right? And then like just it was like pretty.
And then your friend was a guy, then you blow him, and then I'm gay!
It could be mistaken as a gay relationship, but you're just like
Just best buds.
you're just best buds, yeah.
Yeah. Which is very appropriate to the prompt of how did you know when you weren't gay?
When you're a kid, you don't know what's not a, like, I think anyone could just think you're in a gay relationship if you're a kid because you're not trying to not look gay. You're just doing whatever it's cool. Like, you know when you're a kid, you just show your dick to like your,
yeah.
like that's kind of gay, but like you
But
don't
you
know
don't
that.
you
yet.
don't know that,
Yeah,
right?
I used to do that all the time when I was 5.
And you don't have that intent either.
Yeah.
I used to do that all the time.
What was the context of you taking your dick out?
So like during nap time in kindergarten.
Like, what's the bit? Yeah.
This is the bit. In nap time during kindergarten, I would go to the boys' bathroom doorway where like only the kids could see me, and I would just take my dick out and just go, whoa!
That's pretty funny.
Everyone loved him. I guarantee everyone loved him.
Everyone loves Ryan.
But like all the guys would always fucking laugh. It's just when you're a kid, you just want reactions.
Yeah.
So you have no correlation that it's your dick out. It's just you're getting a laugh.
But wait, you guys, I feel like us three didn't do that because I don't know how you guys felt about. I think I was conscious of my foreskin.
No, bro, that's how I
was
knew I had
uncircumcised
foreskin
at the time too. Yeah.
Because everybody liked peeing together. So then, like,
What? Take it back?
Like, I don't know, in kindergarten, when it was bathroom time, everyone's liked peeing in the same bowl or same stall. Yeah. And then that's when you see other people's dicks and you're like, mine's different. And then you start thinking like, why is mine so different?
Or if you don't
'cause
go,
I'm
mine's
Asian.
different. Somebody goes, yours is different.
I didn't really know about the whole race thing until later on. But then a lot of kids, I remember going to the bathroom and then we would do these things called sprinklers. So kids would just drop their pants and then they'd start peeing like this.
Oh, that's a good time.
In a circle.
Just all over the bathroom?
They might, yeah. Well, the thing was they'll
Imagine
do it while
they're like
you're
this.
That's good control, dude.
Cut to before that, his parents are like, it's not a great school system.
It was horrible, dude. But I remember when we would go and we're peeing, kids would come in and do sprinkler on us. So then they're
On you?
Yeah. So there's so imagine this is the wall, right? Imagine that's the wall, and we're peeing like this, right? And then the kids would come in.
Imagine that side's the wall, by the way, just for camera's sake. And
Okay.
Steve.
Where?
Yeah, Steve's the wall.
Steve's the wall. Steve's the wall.
Steve's mouth is a urinal.
So that's
You
the
child.
So that's the urinal, right? And then the kids would be like, oh shit, they'll run up right behind us and start peeing in a circle like this. And all of us are like, no! Trying not to get caught.
That's pretty funny though.
P-word!
Pretty hilarious.
But like, when did it start? Like, you know, when you discover what gay even is, and then you just start to kind of change what you do because you're like, well, I don't want guys to think I'm gay.
It's usually the first time when someone makes fun of you for doing something like that's
Yeah.
so gay, even though you don't know what gay means. You know, oh, that's just bad.
It's like the fourth grader when you're in second grade who like just discovered it themselves from their older brother. And then they just perpetuate and repeat whatever their older brother said to you.
Yeah, it's not even the word, it's the tone. Like, oh, that's so meh. And you're just like, what? I don't want to be meh.
Yeah.
You couldn't put any other word.
Could be anything.
Like I remember
I didn't even know what it was, but everyone
That's
called
gay,
each
dude.
other gay.
I remember I'm not gonna say it, but it rhymes with maggot
Okay.
and it starts with an F, right?
Oh, Saget? Yeah, he's dope.
Sagat.
He was.
No, but and I remember like hearing that.
oh, that. We're talking about Bob Saget.
Yeah, I thought you meant boss
I was like, why are you doing that, Ryan?
He's talking about
Yeah,
fucking
wow.
Tiger.
Oh, because he did. Oh, that's the uppercut.
You're the tiger, yeah. And I just remember not knowing what it meant, but wanting to repeat it. And then so I'd repeat it by calling somebody else that, and then I got like fucking decked. But I mean, other than that, I think that same concept applies where it's just like you get made fun of, and then that's how you learn that that's not cool anymore because you just don't want to be made fun of again.
I think I used all those words without even knowing what they were. Because you learn it like in
Yeah, you don't know what
first or
race is.
second grade, and then you just keep using it, and then later you find out, oh, it's actually guys love guys.
And then some other kid would be like, no, gay means happy.
Yeah, dude.
I remember that too, and I was so
Also, your epidermis is showing. I'm like, oh my god.
That's a little different though. If you grow up in Christian school, like the idea of, you know, like how do you know you're not gay? Is like, well, you're fucking taught you can't be gay.
Oh, that's true.
Like you're
too.
just straight up not allowed.
That's true.
It's a different thing growing up.
I think the first time I ever heard that term, like gay and all that stuff, was probably at a Christian school in my middle school. Well, that was the first time people would like throw it around like casually. And another thing in this school that was thrown around very casually as well was calling people Jews. These kids would call each other like, "You're being a Jew." Like they would say it like that.
Oh, if they're being stingy or something? Or?
Just anything, just like a bad thing. And I just remember being like, so I went home that
Go to school in the 40s or what?
Yeah.
it seemed like it.
There's that one 8th grader that's like, hey, I call everyone the Jews. Just don't say Jews. It's a cool word from where I'm from. Say Jews.
My big brother taught me.
I don't know what that means. Just say point and say Jew.
I don't know.
Mom picks him up. Hey, Dolph!
Okay, come
Hey Dom, it's time to go home.
Bye, Jews.
Goodbye, Jews.
Do you think the temperature of like conversations on school campuses today with kids like is
So different.
I mean, kids find out about gay education like mad earlier.
I think they're better at
maybe that's the word
socializing
education. We
children.
didn't have that.
No, we didn't have that at all. We
didn't have
had
that.
avoidance.
Yeah.
Do they use different words now though?
Dude, I had a dumbass teacher. Well, she wasn't a teacher. She was like a teacher's aide, right? And then we were waiting in line, and this kid kept calling me like a Chinese and doing the whole eye thing. And I was like, and I'm like,
Oh,
yeah.
Steve is laughing a lot, huh?
And I'm like, I'm not Chinese. I'm like, at least say the right one. I'm Japanese, right?
Yeah.
And then the teacher's aide is like, hey, quiet, settle down. And I'm like, he won't stop calling me Chinese. And then she's like, it's the same thing. And then she walked away.
She's like, Steve, come to my office, Steve Greene.
That's conflict resolution right there.
Right? It's the same.
It's the same fucking thing.
No, like it's Pepsi and Coke, and then
Who gives a shit?
Yeah. She was just like, it's the same thing. And she walked away. And I'm like, God, even the adults in this school are stupid. Today's video is brought to you by Feels. CBD is not about what you feel. It's about what you do not feel, such as anxiety, stress, and all this. Oh man, what's going on? I got the jitters. You know why? I drink a lot of caffeine. And sometimes I drink a little too much when I have a lot of work to do because it powers me out throughout the day. But what ends up happening is at night, I can't go to sleep. And what happens? I sleep a little bit. The next day, I need some more caffeine. And thanks to Feels, this actually helps me have an unwinding routine where I put a few drops on the tip of my tongue, I go blop, 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 and then I start to chill, I meditate, I relax, and I fall right asleep.
And if you're new to Feels or you've never tried CBD before, they even have a hotline, which is really cool because they can walk you through the whole process, talk about how much you should take, what are you trying to get from it, is it stress, and is it anxiety, so you have someone to hold your hand the whole way through.
It's a natural way to help with sleeplessness and all that stuff, and there's no hangover either, so, you know, it works pretty chill.
And they even have a monthly subscription, so it makes self-care very easy. And of course, they're gonna hook you up with a discount. So if you get that, it'll just come every single month. You get a little discount and you don't have to worry about ordering it anymore. So if you wanna become a member today, go to feels.com/offtherecord to get 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's feals.com/offtherecord to get 50% off. That's half plus free shipping.
Yeah. And I was like in 3rd grade or something, and I'm like, God, man.
Kids just following you do the most blatantly racist shit.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
But that was normal back then.
It's a different time, yeah.
It was so weird how everyone was just blatantly fucked up, racist, homophobic, and they just did it to each other.
I got called gook so much. I didn't even know it was Korean. I thought it was Filipino. Because people always call me gook, and I'm like, I guess that's for Filipinos.
He's like, I think that's my name.
He's like, no, it's Ryan.
They told me it was Ryan, but I don't know. I get called this a lot.
And then the movie came out, and there's like no Filipinos in it, so I was like, oh, okay.
It took me 20 years.
So, God, Justin John.
I don't know, but is there education on that for, like a particular age today?
Maybe it depends on the
there's online
area, what
education.
school you're going to, and all that, because some places are more, I guess, progressive, and other places are more like, you know, Bible-y.
Wait, did you guys all grow up in California?
I did, yeah.
Pretty much.
See, I don't even remember people. I was in Georgia, and people didn't even. They never called me anything Asian, really. Maybe
They never did this to you?
They did. Maybe I just blocked it out. Now that I think about it.
Did you feel
No,
more
no, no.
included or you felt more?
Kind of, but I simulated pretty well.
That's why you're wearing a trucker hat and some
Yeah,
short.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Mag.
Trump, huh? Trump. Let's go.
Let's go. Trump. Trump. No.
It's upside down, dude.
Trump.
Whoa, the way he flipped it was cool. Damn, that was dope.
But yeah, I remember maybe like in my neighborhood, I'd get called Buddha occasionally.
Buddha.
Buddha.
Why Buddha?
Or like fat. Some people just say straight up fat Mexican kid.
They would just call you Mexican.
No, they would say fat Mexican kid. Fat Mexican kid.
Is that like a casting director?
Yeah.
Like that Mexican kid? Come on in.
Improv? Great.
Perfect. Okay, go ahead. You have 30 seconds. Just slate.
Yeah. Hi, Gilbert, fat Mexican kid.
Right before slating.
Yes. Reading for Peter Parker.
Maybe I'll get his friend. We'll see.
I remember in high school, though, is when I started to see and interact with, like, gay couples. Like they were openly gay.
Really? Yeah. In high school?
In high school, there were, like lesbian couples or like, just gay dudes holding hands and stuff. And like, it was just a thing, like it's probably not as accepted and common as now because people will still pick on them and like, there'll be some gay bashing. But I remember it was, there were some open gay people, yeah.
See, that's one thing. You knew who some of the guys were that were gay at our high school, but in Georgia, that's not open. You just go like, oh, we know.
Oh, yeah. That's probably the
Even the musical theater kid, you're like, yo, come on, man. But
I'm straight.
I'm gonna play my VR game now.
I actually wanted to get into dance in high school, and then because my sister was on the dance production team, but there were all girls on that team except for one guy, and that guy, it wasn't open, but it was like everybody in the school always just assumed and made fun of him. And I thought to myself, that if I were to join dance in any way, that people would feel or think the same thing about me. So I didn't dance in high school.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's why I started in college, because finally I went to college and I started seeing these like, you know, like guys and girls dancing together, but it was cool. And I'm like, that guy doesn't look super gay at all, and all the girls are really hot.
Or
and
fucking all the guys that dance.
yeah.
Well, that's like me and Joe in high school, where like I would see drama or theater, and probably majority of them are straight. But since all your friends call them the F words, they're all F words. And even though if you want to do it, then you're like, oh, I don't want to be an F word.
Yeah, just by association.
Yeah.
That's one thing I regret.
It has nothing to do with their sexuality or anything.
I think I regret that the most, where it's like I'm so afraid of being made fun of that I didn't try a lot of artsy shit that I was like, damn, that looks fun. Like the drama when they did the performance in high school and all that, and I was like, damn, that looks really fun. But then I was like, damn, I don't want them to like make fun of me because I'm a hard thug, you know?
I think I hella benefited from, because I know there's a lot of parents out there, there's a lot of like advocacy groups that are saying like, I don't want like gay agenda talk to my kids and all this shit. But dude, one of the best things that happened to me was having a gay teacher, because you just see, they're not some scary thing that's like hiding in the woods or some shit. Like they're just a normal person, just a completely normal person, like nothing different about them. So that was what was great for me. I think, especially as a young person, it was like, oh well, you know, I see that. That's not really a big deal. I don't know why. You know, it's a lot of the people who don't know yet. It's kind of like
scary. Yeah.
Taika has like in his preschool right now, they'll have like random days that they just get to teach them stuff. And on Parent Day, they're like some parents are mommy and daddy. Some of them have two daddies. Sometimes the like one's short, one's tall. Like, you know, it's like it's really cool that like at such a young age, it's just already taught to be like that open and inclusive.
Yeah.
So did Taika like see something like that and like ask you questions about it, or did you guys have to?
No, it's just the norm now. Like it's like it just jumps past it, because I think it was like, I guess, taught or informed about so early. So,
Yeah, or just the exposure is just there in like a nonchalant way.
yeah, like if we're at the park and there are two dads, he doesn't even question it. It's just like, oh, okay, cool.
He's like, lucky you got two dads.
I know. Mom's a
Listen,
bitch.
Gio.
But that's probably what's gonna happen.
Gio's like, what the fuck, man?
That's probably what's gonna happen eventually.
You know what I think is going to be tricky, though? Well, I think for a lot of parents that are struggling, even for kids, I think that even the transgender conversation is a trickier one.
Yeah.
Because that's like so many things you have to like.
That's tricky for adults right now.
So I think, how do you even?
But I feel like it's still progressing though. Like I think slowly, we're in the way kids talk about it nowadays and the way they grow up about it. It is normal. It is just something like, oh yeah, like I have a classmate that's bi, or my classmate is gay, and it's like totally fine. I have a classmate that's trans, and it's like they understand the concepts. Obviously, like middle school maybe sometimes, and then even like high school. Like I used to coach some kids who are entering high school now, and they have conversations about this, and they tell me like, oh yeah, I have a classmate that's trans, and they understand it, and they kind of
that is really important for like especially a developing mind to be like exposed quick, because the same thing with me. Like the second I finally had a gay friend, and again, this was my first one that I knew about, ended up being all the way in college. But the second I had a gay friend is the second I changed everything in my understanding about what it like a gay person was, what it meant to be homies with a gay person, you know what I mean? Or even like hearing somebody else make fun of it in a naive way and then being like, hey, that's actually not cool. You know what I'm saying? So like if you don't have earlier exposure, then I'm guessing you're gonna develop a lot more conclusions in your own mind that don't make sense, you know?
Yeah, and there's always people right now. I think there's a lot of people who are seeing, like, you know, when you turn on TV shows or like you're watching commercials, they're like, well, there's just so much gay stuff. Why is it always like, it's like they're attacking me with the gay stuff? And it's like, bro, it's just like it's like a reflex right now, because we're making up for a lot of lost time. Like,
Hell yeah.
When we're growing up, all that shit was like considered weird if you're a kid. Like you're like, oh, I don't want to be seen as weird. Please don't call me that, you know? Yeah. But now it's kind of like we gotta kind of make up for lost time a little bit, and like I think everyone wants it to just be normal, where it's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah. But, and that's how it should be, because it's not that long ago that even in, you know, liberal cities, you would have dudes just roll up to gay guys and beat the fuck out of them. Yeah. That was still like in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah,
I remember watching that shit on the news and being like, a bunch of guys rolled up on this gay couple and beat them the fuck up. Yeah. And then it's like, dude, that was what, less than 20 years ago? That's very fucking recent, because we remember.
That's when they killed that kid Matthew Shepard too. It was like the same era.
They beat him to death?
Yeah, they beat him to death. Yeah,
see, and then it's like, it's like, did people get amnesia that it was even having these conversations, and even like gay people just openly hanging out and all that stuff? that wasn't even a safe thing.
Yeah.
So that shit blows my mind. Is like, why are people saying like, we don't need this, this too much dick on camera, or I don't know what they're saying. It's like, who gives a fuck, dude? Just let them be. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Nick's been saying that a lot. Actually,
I've been watching Euphoria, and I'm like, bro, there's so many dicks. There's so many dicks in the show.
Actually, dicks on camera, righteous gemstones.
Yeah.
Lots of penis.
A lot of penises.
Just throwing that out there.
Great show.
Great show.
Great shows.
Mainly because of the penis.
Euphoria is a great fucking show.
It's so good.
But it's too intense. I have to I can't drink Red Bull while I'm watching Red Bull.
Steve just going into shock.
But that's a good example though too, right? Like all the things that they talk about in like Euphoria. I know it's like a newer show, but this is just mainstream now. It's like all these concepts that we used to think were so crazy are being shown with high schoolers. You know, so
and
it's like
the norm for them.
And it's a norm, and it's a really fucking good show.
But you know what's so telling is that I feel like kids now, like the whole the gay jokes or even like the dick jokes, I don't think they don't really do it as often, but you can really tell from our generation, even at this age, we're in our 30s, we're still doing like gay jokes. Even my gay friends in my age love the gay jokes.
Yeah.
It's like our culture.
It's our era. Yeah.
It's nice that there's an irony now, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice that you're not actually scared of being gay anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have gay friends. I have gay best friends.
And 20 years ago, I was the one that beat up those kids. I'm Steve Greene.
That guy's name? Steve Greene.
Is my truth. Say my name.